latest on Typhoon Trami, which continues to hold strong as a Category 4 on the Saffir-Simpson scale, with winds of 140 miles per hour, that's around 220 kilometers per hour, and a pressure around 935 millibars at this time. Here's its location and its wind field, making it a stage 6 on the CDPS, catastrophic at this time. 18.5 north, 130.9 degrees east, still quite far from any particular land areas. 505 miles from Daitojima in Japan, 554 from Miyakojima. It's just over 570 miles to Santa Ana in northern Luzon, and 751 miles to Taipei in Taiwan. No warnings in effect at this time. The storm has been named Paeng by the Philippines Pagasa. They are warning that there could be warnings issued later on today, although there are some gale advisories in effect for other parts of Japan for a frontal system not related to this storm completely moving through right now. Over the next few days we expect that Trami will stall, and it is moving slowly as it is already, and then move eventually. We think it's going to be towards the north. The chances of it moving further west is now decreasing, especially as model consensus is taking it at least further towards the northwest. So I think we're just about ready to rule the Philippines out for a significant hit. There could still be just the very periphery of the storm arriving there. It's looking like it's going to be more of a storm for either Taiwan or the Ryukyu Islands of Japan, but still not quite sure exactly where it will strike just yet. Sea surface temperatures are around 28 or 29 degrees Celsius, which is certainly enough to sustain a storm of this intensity. Here's another look at that wind field to see how it gradually increases over time, as many storms do, especially ones that stall over the open waters here. And you can see it there moving into midweek, staying quite far away from the Philippines really, and then towards the end of the week starting to move in towards the southernmost Ryukyu Islands of Japan. Tropical storm force winds arriving by the end of the week. Of course, this could happen sooner. It depends really on what happens with that stalling motion. It will really dictate what the rest of the track says. And you can see quite a big blow there for eastern Taiwan as it curves towards the northeast. These are the latest chances for tropical storm force winds, noting that this is in the next 5 days only. 52% at Ishigaki, 51% in Miyakojima, and 26% over in Taipei, just over a quarter chance. Chance is slowly rising in eastern China. The JTWC think that this storm will peak as a Category 5, solid Category 5 at that, with winds of 165 miles per hour. It hasn't happened yet, but that is on tap, because look at the wind shear there, very low indeed, 5 to 10 knots, maybe even less than that. Sea surface temperature staying very high, relative humidity decent, and you can see the models there. The only thing that could stop this storm from intensifying is if it does indeed stall, and upwelling could bring down those sea surface temperatures. Now, this is how it's looked in the last few frames. Overnight into the early hours of this morning, there's been an eyewall replacement cycle taking place, and the new eye is pretty much getting out there now. In those latest frames there, you can see it's almost ready. Ragged at the moment, but I think with the storm's current momentum that it's got at the minute, you look at that animation there, it's looking pretty good for this storm, and this may well become the next Category 5 after we've just had one over there in the Western Pacific, but this can happen at this time of year over there. Stay tuned for more updates. You can follow Force13's outlets, the website force13.com, with the latest. You can also find our YouTube page. You're probably there already, but if not, subscribe if you haven't so far. You can also find our Facebook page, Force13 all in text, and it's at Force13 on Twitter if you'd like to get in touch with us on there. You can also help the project become even better by enjoying the benefits of patronage. You can find out more information about how to become a patron and what those benefits are at patreon.com/force13. You can also add my personal account on Discord, Fool13 at extension 9094, and Force13 on Skype. We also have a new server on Discord. You can find a link in the community tab.